In this video, I'm going to show you 2 licks that work over every chord, and I'll show you how to make any lick work over any chord, including some special details, if you stick around to the end, that professional jazz guitarists do not want me to share with you. But we'll do it anyways. The first lick sounds like this. So really all we have here is this descending chromatic pattern, right? Starting on this C. And then we have a little bit of an enclosure, which just means we're surrounding a certain note. In this case, F. I'm purposefully not talking about any sort of scale because what I'm going to show you is that it doesn't matter what scale you think of. The big secret here is that all that matters is this resolution note, this target note that we get to. So everything up here doesn't matter. We only care about that last note. And what I mean by we care about that last note is we want to make sure that the last note of this lick fits over the chord we're going to land on. And that could be a chord tone, but it doesn't have to be. I'll talk about that example later. But let's look at the tune Blue Bossa. And I'll use this lick on the entire song because that F works over every chord in that song. So check this out. Okay, I had to change it up there at the end because the point is not to use one lick for the entirety of your solo. I'm doing that just to demonstrate how this idea fits over any chord. And all I'm really thinking about is where am I ending up and making sure that lands on the harmony. So in this case, that F could be like the minor 11th of C minor. It's the root of F minor. It's the 3rd of D half diminished. It's the 7th of G7. It's the 9th even of E flat minor, the 13th of A flat 13, 3rd of D flat major. Basically, it works over any of those chords. I don't want to do it if that note is not going to work on that chord. So I don't want to end up on the flat 9 of a major 7th. That wouldn't sound good. But again, later I'll show you how we can fix that so we never have that issue. Let's take a little bit of a look at how well this works even when the notes don't fit over the chord we're playing on until the resolution. So let's take this example of that D minor 7 flat 5 to G7. Look at the notes we're playing. We start on C, but we actually even land on an F sharp, the major 3rd of D, which you probably would never play over D minor 7 flat 5 if you were thinking about the scale. But it doesn't matter because we're resolving, we create that tension resolving to F, which does fit over that G7 when we eventually get there. So this is why if you're playing in scales and thinking about scales and it's not sounding right, it's because you're not using this kind of chromaticism and thinking about things as tension to resolution, to these target notes where you don't even have to think about the scale. I'm not thinking about any scale here. I'm just thinking about where do I end up and then going on from there. And we'll get even more advanced than this. I'll show you in a second. It's really cool what you can do with this. But before we get there, it sounds a little boring to just play the same lick over and over on Blue Bossa. So why don't I show you how we could move it around, the same lick, but move it around to target different notes of whatever song we're playing on. You'll see how it starts to sound a little bit more like music, even with just this same pattern. And we'll do it over the bridge of Girl From Ipanema because that has a lot of different chords and we'll just move it around. All right, check this out. Root, sharp 11, minor 7, flat 9, 5th, flat 7, 3rd, 13, flat 7, 13. As you can see, that whole time I was actually just going down by half step, and a bunch of times we're not even hitting chord tones really. We're just hitting notes implying a certain sound, like the flat 9 on the D7 flat 9, or playing it even as a double time lick to make it fit in time. So that is just a descending chromatic pattern. But what if we also combined it with an ascending pattern? And we're gonna take one of the fast Benson arpeggios I had in a previous popular lesson, and we're gonna use that. And so you might be thinking, well, that only worked because it was just descending chromatically. But it actually still works even if we're using other patterns like arpeggios. So I wanna show you that and have an ascending pattern, and then we'll even link it up. If you stay to the end, we'll link it up, both of these licks, so you can just go back and forth between them, even on hard, complicated songs like Donna Lee. I'll show you how to do it on Donna Lee. But first, let's look at this lick number 2 from Benson. This is a modified version of that, so that we fit within a measure, so it's just very simple to understand and easier to play. So the lick sounds like this. Where do you think that target note is? It's that same last note. Once we get there, again, we don't have a chord on this. It could be any chord, as long as that last note fits on the harmony we want. Right? Okay, so it could be F minor. Could be C sharp minor. Could be D major 7 sharp 11. B major 13. A flat minor 7. You get the idea. We could do anything. Half diminished. Straight diminished. And you see how your ear clicks into that? After you hear that note, I could put different harmony there and it would work. You would hear it as if it worked. Now here's that little detail that these jazz guitar professionals do not want you to know. That lick can be modified to make it fit over anything. So say we take that same pattern, but the next chord's F7, and maybe I don't want to hit the sharp 9 because it's like a dominant with like a 2-7 chord, or it has a sharp 11, I don't want to hit that sharp 9. I don't have to resolve to that A flat. I could resolve to the A so it fits over F7. And then it would work. What if I'm going to E flat 7 and I don't want to hit the sharp 11 or the A flat? I could resolve it to the 3rd, G. So once you understand that you can take frameworks and shapes that you have and you get good at then modifying them at the last second to fit the resolution that works on the harmony, then you have so much power to control these licks. That's when you start to feel like you're in charge of what you're playing. You have freedom because just a small half-step adjustment will, in a sense, fix that lick to work on that chord, allowing you to play it on any chord. So let's try this on one of the most difficult songs to play as far as a fast tune, Donna Lee. And I'll use both these ascending patterns, and I'll even try and throw in some of the descending, the first lick that we looked at, and see how I can combine these so that you can see how, even at a fast tempo, this is how you can build up facility and get some of this freedom. So let's check that out. All right, let's do this. Third. 9th. Let's keep going. Okay, so at the end I was trying to combine multiple versions of that descending just to show you how you can just keep using it and link it up with each other, and even link it up with other movements of that. And when we're using these licks, what I want you guys to focus on is just that last note, visualizing where that is in the shape of the pattern. So if I'm taking this shape, I'm seeing, okay, I land on my middle finger here. So what I want you guys to do is visualize where that target note at the end is in relation to the shape of the lick, so that you know when you're looking for a certain note, you know where your finger you're going to land on. Try using these two licks. You can use them in conjunction like I just showed you. do it with just one lick to start. If you guys want to check out the 6-page PDF, that is included for all members of Chase's Guitar Academy. You can get a 14-day free trial at the link below. We have a few different plan options if you want to have live class with me or not, just want to access all of my courses and YouTube PDFs. That really helps. I'm also going to be starting a YouTube live show every Friday. And if you guys want to be part of that, and if you want to get the recordings for that, you need to sign up as a YouTube member. So you can just sign up below, join as a YouTube member to my channel. That helps support all the work I do here, bringing you these lessons and PDFs. So hopefully you guys will join me on those, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. In the meantime, you can check out these licks. I'm gonna keep shedding Donna Lee so I can play something other than these 2 licks. But yeah, let's go for it.